Hi guys, so at PMQs on Wednesday, Boris Johnson's oil light was blinking, and no matter how much his MPs shouted him on, it did little to help him deal with the attacks from the leader of the opposition. Now, the core issues that were raised were how the rich will be protected when it comes to social care. This is about how many people will be forced to sell their homes in order to pay for this care. Starmer also stuck the knife in following a rebellion from backbenchers this week, along with the feeling among Johnson's MPs that the shine has come off the Prime Minister. Let's hear how it went down.
Mr. Speaker, I think he's lost his place in his notes again. The only thing he's delivering is high taxes, high prices and low growth. I'm not sure the Prime Minister should be shouting about that. And it isn't just broken promises, it's also about fairness. Everyone needs protection against massive health and care costs. But under his plans, someone with assets worth about £100,000 will lose almost everything. Yet somebody with assets of about £1 million will keep almost everything. It's just like their 2017 manifesto all over again. Only this time, something has changed. He's picked the pockets of working people to protect the estates of the wealthiest. How could he possibly have managed to devise a working-class dementia tax?
And this is wonderful, a working-class dementia tax. So he's attempting to do here is to plant the seed in the minds of the public that there are taxes that Boris Johnson wants to impose on the public. And here we have this idea of the working class dementia tax, so a tax on the working class and the elderly who will need social care. But of course, the people who vote for the Conservative Party, the richer people, will be protected. Now, I said this before, and I said it on the live stream, how Boris Johnson's approach here is that, well, a lot of the people who voted for us back in 2019 and are going to be affected by this won't be around to vote us out.
Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, I think I've answered that question 3 times already. This does more for working people up and down the country than Labour ever did. Because we're actually solving the problem that they failed to address. We're disregarding your housing asset altogether, Mr. Speaker, while you're in it. And he talks about jobs, he talks about working people. Well, let me just remind him. There's just one key statistic that people should bear in mind. It's now almost a month after furlough ended. He talks about the economy, Mr. Speaker. There are now more people in work than there were before the pandemic began. And that's because of the policies this government has pursued. Yes.
Because there's a shortage. There's a shortage because of Brexit. Yeah, there are lots of jobs available. There's full employment. But there are shortages.
Mr. Speaker, there's no getting away from it. Working people are being asked to pay twice. During their working lives, they'll pay much more tax in national insurance, whilst those living off wealth are protected. And then when they retire, Mr. Speaker, they face having to sell their home when the wealthiest won't have to do so. It's a classic con game, a Covent Garden pickpocketing operation. The Prime Minister's the front man, distracting people with wild promises and panto speeches, whilst his Chancellor dips his hand in their pocket. But now the Prime Minister's routine is falling flat. His Chancellor is worried that people are getting wise. His backbenchers say it's embarrassing. Your words.
This is wonderful. Getting the backbenchers, because we know the backbenchers are upset with Boris Johnson. Some of them have come out and said that they want to get rid of him. He shouldn't be there anymore. So it's good for Starmer to divide the Prime Minister from his MPs. This is going to upset them, and this is the right approach.
Your words. And senior people in Downing Street tell the BBC it's just not working. Is everything okay, Prime Minister?
Wonderful. Is everything okay, Prime Minister? This is a slam dunk here.
Prime Minister! Well, Mr. Speaker, I tell you what's not working. It's that line of attack.
No, it's working perfectly, Boris. You don't like it. You're not able to respond to it. So instead of actually responding to it, you attack the line that he's presenting. But it's not going to work. It's not working for you. His line of attack is working. Your response is not working.
I just want to repeat. I want to repeat the crucial point, Mr. Speaker.
See, Boris Johnson always has to react to the slam dunk. He's not able. See, what's remembered is Keir Starmer's attack, not Boris Johnson's response. So Johnson has nothing left. He has just bluster. But it's not the bluster that will be remembered. It's the attack. And that's a big problem for him. You know, his MPs are getting concerned. He's not able to knock them out of the park like baseball or whatever, like he did before. He's run out of steam. And I think they're copping on to this.
We're delivering for the working people of this country. We're delivering for the people of this country. And we're fixing the problems that they thought could never be fixed. We're doing the things that they thought were impossible. And let me repeat, there are now more people in work in this country, jobs up, with their wages going up, Mr. Speaker, than there were before the pandemic began. And that is because of the policies that this government has followed. Whether it's on rolling out the vaccine, if you remember that he opposed.
Sorry, what? He opposed rolling out the vaccine? So now Johnson is resorting to lies. He's run out of bluster and he's making up crap. He just has to lie. This is his response to Keir Starmer attacking him. Bluster and lies.
Whether it's on investment here, but he did, Mr. Speaker, he didn't want to invest in the vaccine task force. I seem to remember. Or whether it is making the strategic investments that we have. If we listened to Captain Hindsight, Mr. Speaker, we would have no HS2 at all, because that was what he stood for. And if we listened to him, we would all still be in lockdown, Mr. Speaker.
So he just has to lie. That's all he has left. Lies. And I think it has been demonstrated on numerous occasions that Boris Johnson is slowly running out of steam. He has attacked, but his attacks are not remembered. The attacks on him are remembered. Is everything okay, Prime Minister? That's going to be remembered from Prime Minister's questions, not Boris Johnson's response. And I don't know where he has to go from here. The knives have already been sharpened. Who's going to follow in his footsteps? I don't know. It could be Liz Truss, which I think would be an absolute disaster, or Rishi Sunak, which is extremely cynical. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you thought about Prime Minister's questions today. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?